ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SimAirport. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day. Good lord, that went a little bit higher pitched than I thought it would. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here at ConflictNerd International Airport. I'm actually playing on an experimental version of SimAirport today, which has a couple of interesting features. Number one, there is a planning mode. There's a planning mode with colors. Now, I haven't looked at this yet. This particular thing I haven't seen yet, but there's like planning taxiways. There's planning like walls and stuff like that. You can do proper planning. How cool is this? Look at this. I can do colors. It looks pretty cool. So that is one pretty cool thing. But a second pretty cool thing is that cafes now happen to work. You can actually build them and they will actually work. So this space up here can finally be put to some good use. Oh, so that's what we're gonna do. But first, I would like to just go ahead and extend some seats into this area just over here a little bit, and maybe do some stuff over here as well. And I'm also gonna hopefully deal with some of the issues with people missing flights and all that stuff today, but to be honest, I'm just interested in planning and cafes because it's new stuff, and yeah, I'm kind of keen to see where this game goes, and anytime new features come out, you can absolutely expect me to jump on those to see what they're all about. So, get used to that, basically. Right. So, that bench is going to go there, that bench is going to go there, and that looks totally fine by me. Let's go ahead and just do a similar thing over here, so it all lines up and matches up really nicely. And I can go in here, I suppose, and do some flight info, say, there and there. We'll get some electronics vending there and there. And we'll get some food vending just there, 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 and there. And then these bits down here, I'm just going to leave blank for the time being because the focus for right now is absolutely going to be on figuring out a good way to do a cafe up here. So, let's use planning to do it. We might as well. The white planning, which, interestingly, I can put it down. It just highlights in red for some reason. The white planning, I guess, is going to be just the general cafe. We do need room for a kitchen. So I'm thinking sort of a sizable kitchen back there, sort of like this, could be an idea. Although we do need room for queues for people to get into the cafe. So let's do that sort of thing, and that'll totally work. What I'd like to do is actually bring that back just by one, because I'd like to have the cashiers for this place be there. So there's going to be 3 cashiers just right up that end. In fact, you know what? We'll go and move them across to the side a little bit. So the cashiers are going to go there. We'll just put the white back in there. So that's going to be the cashiers, and then the cyan here can be the queue. So what I'm thinking for the queue is that it can sort of go like this and sort of slink back and forth like that. It's maybe going to be a little bit messy, but I'll figure something out with that just to, you know, make it work. But I like the idea that we'd have a queue going back and forth. Maybe we'll do 2 cashiers there instead of 3, but I think that'll be a relatively sizable cafe to get us started. So let's go to walls, and let's bring a wall just across here and a wall across there. And can I just say, I actually really like this as a planning mode. I had a feeling it was going to be a thing. I should say I had no idea it was going to be a thing, but this kind of game seems like it would be perfect to have a planning mode in. Prison Architect has one. A lot of games like this do. I didn't think it would be like this. I thought it would be like, oh, just shift click and it'll place like a ghost of the item. But no, this is actually pretty cool. Being able to like color code all of your planning and stuff. I like that. That's a pretty cool thing. So hats off to the developer on that. That's kind of nice. That's kind of neat. So we're going to have some walls across there. I want to get some walls just around here as well. And then we'll go ahead and throw ourselves a door just onto this little bit up here as well, because that's going to be the kitchen. Then the rest of this is going to be seating space and all of that. I am sort of thinking it would make more sense to have the cashiers over here, but having them close to the kitchen is probably a good idea. So let's get ourselves some cash registers. And I think I'm going to go with 2 of them because I sort of have an idea here that I think might be kind of cool. What I want to do is have the queue, oh, that's the wrong way around. Have the queue sort of go like this. So it sort of slinks right, oh, it's not going to work, is it? It doesn't work all that well. It's going to sort of slink right around the cafe like this. So you get in the queue here, you go the whole way around, eventually get to the cashier, and you do your thing. Now, obviously, that's quite a lengthy queue, so you might very well miss your flight, but honestly, I feel like that's not my problem. We'll put flight info just up there and just there, so that if you come into the cafe and it looks like you're going to miss your flight, you probably don't want to get into the queue. That's how we're going to treat things here. You probably don't want to get into the queue. So I guess now that we know what's going on with planning here, let's just clear the planning thing. Can I clear planning? There we go. So clear all of the planning so that it's, you know, no longer yellow or white or whatever it was up here. The queues in the cash machines are in as well, so we'll assign those both to the one queue. We're gonna need to go and get a kitchen zone just here. Then we assign the cash registers to the kitchen, which is going to need a few things, which is totally fine. Kitchens need to have cookers. I mean, that's kind of a given. But we'll get a couple of cookers just like this, and we'll sort of stack them a little bit. Kitchens also happen to need some kitchen sinks, which can sort of go behind the cookers like that. We're also gonna need some pizza ovens because people like pizza. I like pizza. Everybody likes pizza. So we'll get some pizza ovens up there. A drinks machine is extra, but I kind of want a couple of those. And same with coffee makers. Absolutely extra, but I kind of want a couple of those. So we'll get them in there. And I think that's everything it needs, if I'm not mistaken. Other than, of course, a prep cart, which is gonna go just there and there. And we'll put one there as well. In fact, we'll do that sort of... Oh, I can't do that. That's fine. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to have 3 prep carts there. And that's going to be, eventually, a working kit. Oh, we don't have a refrigerator. I totally forgot about the fridge. Right. Refrigerator can go in just there. And I guess down there, we'll get rid of one of the prep carts. And that should be fine for the kitchen. So the kitchen is pretty much workable at this point. What we'll go ahead and do is get ourselves a couple of food workers. In fact, I'm gonna get 10 food workers, and they're all gonna just stand around the cash registers. I know that's a bit weird, but it means that we can deal with multiple orders, and I kind of want to be able to deal with multiple orders. So let's go to build here. Let's go to carpet. Let's put the nice sort of patterned brown carpet into here. Just like so. We'll get some nice tiles for the kitchen, because I think that's going to be nice and appropriate. Although we can't do it until everything's in there, so we're not going to worry too much about that until, well, everything's in there. Are you guys... Oh, you're not in a functional cafe zone. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. How are we doing in terms of the airport at the moment, by the way? That's something I would like to keep an eye on. We seem to be doing alright. It also... Is it just me, or is the 747 a bit different looking? I think the 747 art has changed. I don't remember it always looking like this, but I like it. And you know what? I'm going to have a little look around and see if there's anything else new in here. The schedule is pretty much exactly as it was. Pricing hasn't changed. Status hasn't changed. Money's the same. Passenger satisfaction I can't click on. The weather channel's fine. Airline interest looks to be the same as well. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cancel my big flights. I know that's a bit of a pain in the butt, but I want to cancel my big flights so that we no longer have to deal with 500 passengers coming through the airport at one time. Because what I'd like to do is go to airline interest and get some smaller flights. So a 767's 250 passengers, so we're gonna take a 767. An A380 obviously isn't a small flight, but that's fine. Galactic Point doesn't do small flights. Star Connect has A350s, which are 360. I don't know where that goes. Is that a That's probably a big plane. It's an Airbus, so one would assume so. Super Alliance does 747s, 787s, and 777s. Let's take 27. Oh, they do have to go into the large gate. That's fine. Remove you. I know the airlines don't like me removing things, but I have enough money, so it doesn't really matter. We'll take the Beechcraft because we have got the space for it these days. And Rexicana has a 707. We'll take that for the afternoon, and we've gone through the rest of these. There's nothing else we can really take. So let's go ahead and shuffle some things about. So you are going to be getting shuffled right back. You're going to go to about there. And you're going to go to about there. We're going to have a lot of these flights coming in at really similar times. But generally, that's going to be fine. I mean, we can deal with it, and it's just a lot of flights coming in, which I kind of like. That needs to be a mooring arrival. You are actually going to go there. And I can actually shuffle these all to be a lot closer together, which is interesting. Let's give that a shot. Let's see if I can just have just a bunch of planes moving about at any one time. Because technically we can put some flights at large gates. Like this 250 person plane could go to a large gate if we wanted it to. 250 people, you are going to go to a large gate because why not? 140, 19, 250. Might as well go to a large gate as well. So there we go. Afternoons just got very, very busy. But we're not going to be dealing with 500-person flights. And to me, that's actually very important because the frame rate's just dire, and I would like to see if maybe the smaller flights are going to help us not have people getting really, really angry with us. I'm curious to see what happens. I am also somewhat aware of the fact that a lot of people are coming up from arrivals and going straight to the bathrooms up here. So I'm gonna... Oh, you all just missed a flight, apparently. Or are you all complaining about a cancelled flight or something? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. What I'd like to do is I'd like to clear that. Because I can split this restroom in two. In fact, you know what? I'd like to clear everything. Because I am going to split this restroom in two, but I'm going to do it vertically instead. Because that probably makes a little bit more sense. So get everything out of there, please. Let's then go and build a wall there. And then let's put some doors on it. So the doors go there. There should be a bit of wall going in that space there. Is there? Yes, there is. Okay. So the walls are all going to go in that space. We're going to need to get ourselves some toilets, which are going to go along this inside wall. Just like so. And then the sinks are all going to go opposite. And hopefully that's going to improve the number of people that go to the restrooms down here, as opposed to going to the restrooms up in the departures area, or the ticketing area, I should say, rather than departures. Departures is post-security. This is all ticketing up here. We'll not worry too much about it. So, yeah, we'll get this all in here. We'll get the wall built. And it's going to be 2 beautiful restrooms as opposed to 1. Let me actually go to zones. Let me say none for a second. Just like so. And then that's 1 restroom and that's another. So hopefully that works. Hopefully that does some really good stuff. Because if it doesn't, I'm not going to be very happy. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens with it. So, it's now day 35. Do we have big... Yeah, we do have big flights. This is actually going to be the last day that big flights start coming in. I also can't help but notice that we never wound up putting down the floor in here. So we'll get that done. We'll also go in and start getting some cafe tables, because we're going to need those. So 1 there and 1 there. And then there and there. And I will do there and there as well. And let's get some chairs around this so we can actually get the cafe up and running fairly soon. I'm curious to see how this ends up going, because I realize... I actually realize this desk here might not be usable. We'll see what happens with that. But I do realize that this might just result in people being late for more flights than they already were. But that'd be kind of funny, I guess. It's like, hey, why were you late for your flight? I was stuffing my face. And to be fair, that does sound like a reasonable enough reason to be late for a flight. If there was ever a reason to be late for a flight, I mean, that's... Missing a flight is something that makes me really anxious. Going through airports is just a really stressful time for me. Because I just don't like... I don't like people, for a start. I don't like people in airports. Because everyone sort of has the same attitude. And that's not so much... The attitude is not the problem, it's just that I just don't really like that kind of group of people. The point I'm trying to get to, is that the idea of missing my flight makes me really anxious, because it's not something I ever want to do. I don't want to ever miss my flight, because I don't want to have to try and get on another one. I don't want to have to be like, okay, I'm going to immediately pay up for another one. I just want to get on my plane, and I just want to go. That's basically, that's my reasoning. Although, to be fair, now that I think about it, does anyone really want to miss their flight? Does anyone ever go to an airport like, you know what? Can't wait to miss this. It's going to be a right laugh when I call all the people I was going to be meeting and I'll just tell them I missed me flight. Lol. That's not really, you never really celebrate missing your flight, do you? Right. Let's get a cafe zone in here, so that we can get this up and running and see what happens. So this is now functional. This is now a fully functional cafe. I'm curious to see if anyone's actually going to use it, though. Because it is right up this end of the airport, which, to be honest, could cause some issues. Because, my mouse is... There's my mouse. Okay. Yeah, it could cause some issues just simply because of the fact that it is right up this end of the airport. So I might try and build another one over here somewhere. Oh, hello. There are people going to it. Oh, you are all going to enjoy missing your flights, aren't you? You're really gonna love that. That's gonna be great. But this is why I have... Oh, there's the... There's the... Hey, Muriel, why is there a hole in the wall? It's because the plane's wing has to go through it. I've told you this before. That's the interaction of two people in the queue for the cafe right there. I don't know if I've made that joke in a video before or if I made that in a live stream. So if I've made it in a video before, I do apologize. And if I made it on the live stream and you didn't see it, then there you go. Top quality humor. Anyway, the reason we have the... multiple members of staff here is because they all need to go and make food. I would really like it if there was like a separate class of worker for preparing food, because it would mean you'd only ever need 2 people at the registers and then a bunch of kitchen staff, but we'll not worry too much about that. The game's in early access for a reason, totally fine. Anybody getting off this plane and going for some food? Nah, you ain't getting off that plane and going for some food. I wonder if I was to put a cafe, like, just up here, would that be a thing that would work? Because that could be kind of cool, having a cafe just right up at the end of the ticketing zone. I'm going to try that. I'm going to see what happens. I want to build a cafe right there. It's not going to be huge. It's not going to be the biggest cafe in the world or anything, but it's going to be a nice little place at the top end of ticketing, where you can get yourself a nice breakfast before getting on the plane. That seems nice. Actually, looking at this, looks really nice in here. Look at this. People just sitting around waiting for their food, having pizza. Man, having a freshly made pizza before getting on your plane would be delightful. But then, of course they missed their flight. Who is surprised that they missed their flight? Let me tell you, not me. I'm not at all surprised that they missed their flight. Too busy stuffing their face with delicious ConflictNerd brand pizza. That's what they were doing. Now here's the question. Where are my workers? Because one of them just came up and tore a hole in the wall, which has now made the airport significantly less secure. Looks like they're all running around the airport. Don't know if I'm a fan of that. Not entirely sure. Yeah, so the airport is no longer secure, meaning a lot of flights could be on the brink of getting cancelled. Could you guys please hurry up and let me get a cafe in here? Because we kind of need it to be secure again. You know, I've realized that there's a really interesting bug in the game at the moment, which is that, the staff here, well, there aren't any. They're working in the other cafe. And I'm pretty sure some people from the other cafe are being told to go and have a seat here. So, that isn't really functional as much as it's mostly decorative. But that's alright. That's fine. We'll not worry too much about it. We are also very, very close to $1 million again. So I'm actually going to bring my pricing down a bit to 1,500. Actually, you know what? Runway usage is not where the money is. Runway usage, I'm going to set to 700. Because I want to see if that brings my standing with the airlines up a little bit. I think it actually did. So can I get a few more flights? I really don't want giant flights. That's the thing. Super Alliance has the 777, the 787. I'm pretty sure 300 passengers and above is absolutely a, I'm pretty sure that's an extra large gate. A Ford Air has a 707, which is actually totally fine. So we'll take a 707 and send up. Super Alliance again. Nothing there I'm too interested in. Aerostar has a 777. So let's go to scheduling. And let's just move you up to there. And let's move you to there slightly so you're not landing at the same time as another plane. So the afternoon's looking a little bit busier, which is totally fine by me. I'm liking how that's looking. We're still going to make some pretty good money regardless of giant flights or no giant flights. I'm also wondering where a lot of these people are going and what they're doing, because it's after 1 a.m. and a lot of you should, yeah, a lot of you are like not, you're all complaining about something. I don't know what you're complaining about. That flight was completely, that flight is cancelled. It says that the airline did it, but I'm pretty sure I did it because I don't actually have that flight here anymore. That is a thing, right? We don't have any giant planes coming anymore, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why there were a shed load of passengers running about at night, but apparently there were. What's more is apparently people aren't going to be really happy with this cafe, so I might end up getting rid of that because, to be honest, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There's not much point trying to make it work. I'm also thinking I'm going to bring my pricing down a little bit per passenger to 75. I have to wait 12 hours. Okay. That's fair enough. Can I get any other flights though? I mean, there's people like SparkJet, Juno Connect, Union Air, Atlantic International. I have to make my passengers happier, but I can't make my passengers happier. We're the happiest place on Earth here at ConflictNerd International Airport. Literally the happiest place on Earth. But yet our passengers just apparently don't agree, which hurts my feelings, if I'm honest. I don't know that I enjoy the fact that my passengers aren't happy. But I mean, they are eating until they miss their flight, so that's probably why. That is probably a pretty substantial reason into why my passengers aren't very happy. Is there anything else I can do in terms of management at the moment then? I could get some more giant flights. I absolutely could get more giant flights. I am definitely noticing like a lot of people complaining about stuff. There's not that many people in here. When does the next flight land? At 11. So the last, yeah, so the last flight to leave was about 8 o'clock, so it landed at 6. The next one's at 11, then 11:30, then 12, and 12:30, and 1, and 1:30, and 2, 2:45, 4. So there's a lot of flights coming in the afternoon. I'm actually quite curious to see how the airport copes with the oncoming storm of aircraft. Because that's what we're about to get. We're about to get a lot of planes coming in here. Which is alright by me, I want to see if we can actually maintain it. And then, to be honest, I think I'll probably leave it there for today, once we've seen how the airport handles this, because then that'll give us an idea of what needs done in the next episode. And I know that this episode's a little bit shorter than some of the recent ones, but I'll be honest, I have a very busy weekend coming up, and I'm trying to make the episodes just a little bit shorter for everything so I can make sure that I actually have the time to do what I need to do this weekend, so you'll have to forgive me on that front. I'm also thinking that the next episode, being part 10, will probably be the last part of SimAirport, at least for a little while until there's a few more updates to the game, and I know a lot of people are loving this series. It's not going to be the end of SimAirport. It is going to be coming back. I'm going to be playing a lot of other games in the channel. Another Brick in the Mall will probably be the next Let's Play going forward for a little while after this one. City Skylines will be coming back as well once Mass Transit comes out, so there's that. Basically what I'm saying is, don't go anywhere. There's more stuff coming. There's obviously going to be a part 10 of this series as well. This isn't the last episode here, but I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know what's going on. So, you know what? I'm pretty sure this is the highest number of planes we've ever had at the airport at one time. And this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool to see. I'm really enjoying this, just all of these planes. There's shed loads of people coming through the airport at the moment, but it looks like we're handling it. It looks like it's not that big of a deal. There's not that many people that are missing flights. No one's really complaining. We're still making like $455,000 per day, which is nowhere near as much as we were making, but we don't need to be making that money anymore. So, ladies and gents, I guess that's going to be it for today. We've done some pretty cool stuff. I know we didn't get a shed load of stuff done, but we had a look at planning. We built 2 cafes. We changed up the structure of our flights a little bit. And next time, I'd like to just really lock in what's going on with this airport. Make sure everything's working absolutely perfectly. Maybe we'll tweak baggage claim a little bit to get some more toilets down there. And we'll look into what's causing the issues with a lot of people missing their flights. I will also do one thing that people have been asking this whole time. And that one thing, actually, you know what? I'll do it right now so you believe me. We're going to destroy that garbage bin. That's what we're going to do. That wasn't the thing, by the way. People want, it wasn't just, hey, can you destroy that garbage bin? It's really annoying me. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a wall there. Then I'm going to go and demolish this little bit here. We're going to go to sidewalk. And we're going to have a bit of sidewalk just come out like this. Right out to the road. Then we're going to have some sort of go like this. And go like this. Go like that. And we'll have a bit come over there as well. And we'll continue that right down a little bit to the end of that road. Just sort of like that. And then what we'll do is bring some sidewalk all the way up to here so people can stop walking on the roads. That's a thing that has apparently been annoying a lot of you in the comments. The fact that my passengers are walking on the roads is apparently not very popular. So allow me to fix it. We'll do this sort of thing. We'll do this sort of thing. I don't know what way I'm doing this, but there you go. We'll have that go there. And we'll have that go all the way like that. And that looks decent to me. It's a bit messy, sure, but it does the job. It's some sidewalks. I'm going to be honest. I'm actually just going to go ahead and fill in all of that space, because that is going to look terrible if I don't. So there you go. That's a thing that people wanted me to do, other than, of course, garbage bins. And now that I think about it, I did just go and delete one of the garbage bins. So, you're welcome for that. Let me cancel that a little bit, because that's actually supposed to be empty there. As for the rest of it, sidewalks now exist in this area, which means everybody can walk a little bit quicker in this area. It also means they don't have to walk on the roads in this area, so there you go. The airport just got a little bit safer. This pathway down the side of security just got a little bit thinner. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Thank you again for watching. This has been SimAirport Part 9. If you like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, etc., etc. Leave a comment saying what you'd like me to do in the next episode. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!